life if you are acting like everyone else does. I am masking right now. If I wasn't, I would have a much flatter affect. I wouldn't be as friendly perceiving, which isn't to say that I would be mean or that I would want to harm you or anyone in this studio, but I would probably be blinking less. I wouldn't be as engaging. But again, I think this is very relatable. I was very problematic for teachers in elementary school in particular, because whereas at home I worked pretty hard to fly under the radar and not cause any problems, I didn't do that so much at school. I got in trouble a lot. As a child, I felt this emotional claustrophobia. And the only way that I was able to neutralize that claustrophobia was to act.
He didn't care.
Right.
And I found that all the people I worked with, the engineers, didn't care. I said, how stupid can you be? You don't have the big picture. The big picture is interesting and exciting. If you know the big picture, you can change the big picture, right? And so what I did after 2.5 years with the nerds is I switched to international marketing. And that was such a breath of fresh air. It was just so great. And my learning again skyrocketed. And I had a big advantage because I had a very strong engineering background. But I also had all the background for my teen years. And so what I found is that I was able to connect with customers and figure out kind of what they wanted and how to really get the order much better than guys 20 years more experienced than me, because they hadn't had all these experiences and they didn't think like an entrepreneur, right? It was
I find it amusing when a loss-making company is allowed to list on the stock market and is allowed to take public's money home.
So what the problem is with the valuations or raising the funds, or is it the problem that you should not be celebrated unless you have proven your way to profitability and empowerment and value creation?
Illogical, unproven business models is the fundamental problem. Okay.
And why is this happening? Because VCs want to just want one winner and that's why just pumping money? Why is it that? Because see,
the money.
What I'm thinking, what you said make complete sense. Okay.
The money.
But what I'm thinking, let me complete it. Is someone who's putting in the money.
Yeah.
Might not be a complete fool.
They're not.
He is putting money. He's very smart.
They're not.
Why are they putting in the money?
They're not. Okay. Now I'm going to tread into a direction which is even more riskier. No. So I'm putting myself on the
territory for a while with some of the contracts where they're quite literally paying you to take oil. So that shows the amount of surplus we have right now, the lack of demand in oil. And then we have the main topic that I really want to focus on later in this video, stock buybacks. It's a very simple thing. I'll explain later in the video what stock buybacks are, but essentially it's just a company buying back its own stock. It seems very simple, but there's a lot of drama, a lot of controversy surrounding it. I'm actually not a huge fan of stock buybacks for the majority of companies. So I'm going to be going through and showing a lot of the criticisms that stock buybacks have, reasons why people have genuine concerns about them, and why I think in most cases they're actually hurting companies. So we'll be taking a look at that. Now, of course, before jumping into those news items, I want to take a look at my portfolio, give a quick update. It's at $80,000 in value. It's been bouncing around a couple thousand here and there. It was up a little bit today. On the week, it's down a little bit. So I'm still down $4,800 overall. Now, a lot of people look at this and they view
in Montgomery or Selma, I can't remember which one, where he was getting fed up. They weren't getting very far in the civil rights movement. They were reaching a stalemate and he was getting very frustrated. And an advisor came to him and said, look, we're going to have this massive march and I can get a lot of elementary school and junior high school students to be on this march because they believe in you and they're very fervent. And I think it would be great. And his advisors go, God, you can't do that. You can't put 13-year-olds at risk. And Martin Luther King thought about it very deeply. He said, no, we're going to go ahead and do it. Because damn it, I want the American public sitting in there all fat and watching their televisions to see these brutal, Bull Connor, the police chief then. I want to see these children being water hosed and beaten, and it's going to have an incredible impact. He was being strategic.